Well, Stephen, it's been a fascinating week of international football. Northern Ireland started with a fantastic 2-0 win over Slovakia on Friday night at Windsor Park. Then, of course, the 1-0 defeat, the narrow, controversial 1-0 defeat to Germany at the same venue on Monday. But let's kick things off by talking about that Slovakia game, because it was a fantastic night at Windsor Park, and possibly the most complete performance since Michael O'Neill returned.
Yeah, it was an absolutely brilliant performance. I think whenever Northern Ireland beat Bulgaria 5-0, that was more of a complete performance personally. But I thought Northern Ireland were excellent against Slovakia. Conor Bradley was supreme. Listen, I love watching Conor Bradley for Liverpool and for Northern Ireland. I think he's got more freedom in a green shirt, if I'm being honest. And boy, does he enjoy it. And the sight is something to behold. But the sound inside Windsor Park when he gets the ball and starts powering forward is just beautiful. It really is. You know, with seats, people are off their seats, and you can feel the noise, the atmosphere, the verve within the stadium, and it is exhilarating. The only downside about the Slovakian result was him actually getting a yellow card, harsh yellow card, and getting booked for the Germany game. But all told, some brilliant performances. Trey Hume getting his first goal.
What a moment that was as well. I mean,
yeah.
It's obviously the goalkeeper's way off his line and everything, but it drops for his left foot, and you're not really expecting him to pull that off. But I don't know about you, but it felt like it took about half an hour from the ball to leave Trey Hume's foot and land in the back of the net. It was almost like it was in slow motion, but it was an amazing moment.
And that was the beauty of it, that it took that time, because you could almost anticipate it going in the back of the net. So pleased for Trey, because he's just having the run of his life, getting into the Premier League with Sunderland, doesn't look out of place there, has become a really accomplished international. Ethan Galbraith was another one who played exceptionally well. Shea Charles, what a midfielder he is. His partnership with Ali McCann is developing so well. And I just thought it was a wonderful evening, and the atmosphere was electric.
Then on Monday night, Germany were in town. Massive game. It's not the greatest Germany team by any shade of imagination, but there's still a team filled with Champions League players. Germany came away with the 1-0 victory, a first half goal that bounced off his shoulder. Northern Ireland were unfortunate. They really should have taken something from that game.
Yeah, I think it's one that got away, Keith, if I'm being honest about it. I think Northern Ireland had a genuine chance of getting something from that match. Obviously, we had the Daniel Ballard goal that was disallowed, rightly, because Paddy McNair was offside. But Northern Ireland actually created more than Germany did over the piece. And I think Michael O'Neill would be hugely disappointed at the goal that was conceded from a set piece. And then when chances came, and they weren't like clear-cut chances by any stretch of the imagination, but they were good enough chances that you should be taken at international level. I thought Jamie Reid's got to hit the target after Ethan Galbraith did really good work, and Ethan himself said that he maybe could have hit the target on a couple of occasions in the second half. But I thought it was a real resilient performance from Northern Ireland. They fought to the finish, and with a break here or there, definitely could have got an equaliser, just wasn't to be on the night. What was interesting at the finish, and I watched this intently the last 5 minutes, was the Germans hacking the ball clear, and all of the long ball talk from Julian Nagelsmann after the match in Cologne last month. I think he was eating his words, because they were just, get it out of here. And they were incredibly grateful, Keith, at the end to get out of Dodge with a victory. And talking to the Northern Ireland players afterwards, they were gutted, absolutely gutted, because they felt that they could and should have got something from the match.
Well, we have to talk about the Spanish referee. I don't know about you, but I still haven't calmed down from 2 minutes of added time. Yeah. You just don't see that in 2025.
It was ludicrous. It really was staggering. Listen, some of the decisions that he made during the course of the match bewildered me, bewildered the fans, bewildered Michael O'Neill. But just to have 2 minutes of stoppage time, given the amount of substitutions, given the amount of injuries, the Germans were time wasting as well, in my opinion. So they got that wrong, no question about it. I would add, though, in my opinion, in international football, bigger nations do tend to get more decisions. And it's been that way for 30 years. And Northern Ireland have to live with that. I think Northern Ireland have got to take chances, even if they're half chances, when they come along in games like that, to go and win them. And they didn't do that. And now it looks as if Germany are going to win the group and Northern Ireland will be in the playoffs. They're guaranteed to be in the playoffs. The question is which way they get there. Do they get through the front door, finishing runners-up in the World Cup group, or do they go through the back door as Nations League group winners? And you can explain, Keith, about what the difference in that makes.
Well, thanks for that, Stephen. Yeah, it is. There is a difference there. It's all about pots, and if Northern Ireland go through in third as a Nations League group winner, they'll be in pot for the bottom pot, and that means they will play a pot 1 team in the semi-finals of the playoff away from home, and that could very well be Italy, who would obviously be massive favourites. They failed to qualify for the last 2 World Cups, so they're desperate to get there, as you would expect. There's other games there. Away to Poland would be very difficult. Away to Turkey would be a nightmare. Ukraine are a possibility, which might be a bit kinder because they obviously can't play in Kiev at the moment. So there is a real advantage to finishing second in the group and then going through as a pot 3 team. That opens up the possibilities of games away to Wales or maybe away to Scotland. It's just a little bit kinder. Czech Republic are another team in there, and they've recently lost to the Faroe Islands. So there is a real advantage in coming second in the World Cup qualifying group, and that's still a distinct possibility, Stephen, as you know, because we've got Slovakia on the Friday night away from home. I think it's Kasici before playing Luxembourg, then in Belfast on the Monday night. And most likely 4 points from those 2 games would see Northern Ireland in the second.
Yeah. Northern Ireland will really fancy it against Slovakia. Now, I will say this, Slovakia are missing their 2 best players in the match at Windsor Park. But I think Northern Ireland can go there and at least get a draw. And then I would fancy Northern Ireland to beat Luxembourg at home, and that would guarantee, I would suggest, second, because you'd fancy Germany to beat Slovakia, wouldn't you, particularly at home. And the playoffs are going to be exciting, aren't they? You've got that winner-bust scenario. I've always loved winner-bust scenarios. Now, playoffs haven't been particularly kind to Northern Ireland in recent years, but this is a fearless young group. And having got to know some of them, most of them actually over the past 4 or 5 years, they will relish that, absolutely relish it. They'll go into those matches thinking they can beat whoever they play in the semi-finals of the playoffs and also who they play in the final. Now, the playoffs aren't until March next year. Yeah. So I wouldn't go booking your trip to America and Canada and Mexico just yet, but I wouldn't rule it out. Obviously, it would have been fantastic to finish first in the group and gain automatic qualification, but Northern Ireland can still do this. You know, the dream is not over. Northern Ireland still have a shot. The players believe it, the manager believes it, and I think the fans believe it. The atmospheres at both of those matches, Keith, Slovakia and Germany, was fantastic.
It was a big improvement on what we've had in recent years. I think that Windsor Park has been a little quieter than what it would have been in a different era, but Friday night was a little bit different, wasn't it? Either the excitement levels and the volume levels were raised, and it was great to see.
Yeah, you always need those matches that mean something. And these 2 matches definitely meant something. Like I think sometimes we can look back on atmospheres with green and white coloured spectacles and think they were all great. They haven't all been great.
Well, we still need some new songs for this new generation of players. We need to hear some songs for Isaac Price and Conor Bradley and Shay Charles and all those ones. It's
yeah, they definitely deserve it. No question about that. But come what may, there'll be lots of fans in Slovakia cheer Northern Ireland on. The place will be packed against Luxembourg, and then we can prepare for the playoffs in March. And wherever Northern Ireland play in March, and it will be away, the semi-final, I would say there'll be thousands of Green and White Army members there, and the players love that support. I've got to tell you, and the fans should know this as well, that the players absolutely adore what comes from the Kop and what comes from all of the other stands at Windsor Park, and they love the away support as well. So it is greatly appreciated. They always tell me that, and I'm certain that they can't wait to take the Green and White Army on another journey to a major tournament. And like I say, do not rule out qualification for World Cup 2026. These guys are special, and I think they've got a genuine shot of going to America, Mexico and Canada next year.
Well, what about the starting 11? I mean, it almost seems that the starting 11 has become relatively obvious now. There's maybe two question mark positions. One's goalkeeper and one's centre forward. I would expect if Pierce Charles gets back to full fitness, he will probably take that spot from Billy Peacock-Farrell, who maybe has made a couple of mistakes in this campaign. But the number 9 jersey is anyone's.
Yeah. If you look at if everyone's fit, Pierce Charles is in goal. Trey Hume, Daniel Ballard, Paddy McNair are the 3 backline guys. Connor Bradley and Justin Devaney raiding up the flanks. Ali McCann, Shea Charles midfield. Ethan Galbraith and Isaac Price a little further forward. And then you've got the strikers scenario. Jamie Reid has played in all 4 matches in this World Cup campaign to date. He has scored once. He's a willing, committed footballer, no question about that. And I know Jamie wants to do his level best for Northern Ireland. But I think that position is still up for grabs. And by the time the playoff comes around, we need a player who will take chances, because chances are going to be few and far between in those playoff matches. Keith, you know how it works. The fans will know how it works. In terms of options, Josh McGuinness and Callum Marshall were lively when they came on against Germany, but I'm not sure either will start in a big playoff semi-final. My hunch is if Dion Charles is playing well, is in confident mood and is scoring goals at club level, I think Michael O'Neill might go for him. But it gives other players like Ronan Hale, Lee Bonus, Dale Taylor, if they're playing really well at club level, it gives them a chance of maybe sneaking in there. It is the one position that you don't have a certain starter for, and it gives Michael O'Neill some forward thinking to do in more ways than one.